Don't chase your logical mind. If you chase the logic of what you think you should have and not what your gut wants, you will lose interest. You'll always grow to the next thing and the next thing if you do it in the right way. There's nothing wrong with dating a lot of girls, but if you're doing it from the wrong place, just like anything, there's nothing wrong with enjoying a beer. But if you're using it as an escape, that's a whole different story.
Every time I ask somebody what their dream life is, they give a very lazy, sloppy answer. Well, I want to be rich. How rich? What does rich mean? How much money? Is it in liquid cash? Is it in stocks? Is it in crypto? In which country is it held? How do you diversify to protect yourself against matrix attacks? Who's your accountant? What's the name of the banks your money's held in? What are you going to buy? For you to become rich and successful is going to require pain and suffering, and you have to understand exactly what your dream life is to make the pain and suffering worthwhile. Think about it. Have you ever been to the gym and seen a person in fantastic physical condition? They're strong, they're ripped, they're large. And you say to them, how did you get so big and strong? And they say, I don't know. Oops, it kind of just happened. Or have you ever found a really rich man or a very successful man and said, how did you become rich and successful? And he goes, I don't know, bro. I just woke up one day and it kind of happened and now I'm living my dream life. No, there is a very detailed plan and roadmap. For you to become strong, you must eat a certain way. You must train a certain way. For you to become rich, you must earn money a certain way. You must understand exactly how you're going to make money, whether you're going to be a public-facing figure like me or a man of the shadows with millions of dollars. Unknown, but extremely powerful. You have to design your dream life. What house are you going to live in? Who's your woman going to be? Is she blonde? Is she brunette? What car are you going to drive? Have you even gone on the internet and spec'd your car? You can design your dream car right now for free on the internet, and you can choose the color, you can choose the wheels, you can choose the carbon. Is it a Lamborghini? Is it a Ferrari? Is it a McLaren? How much does it cost to the dollar? You talk about your dream life. You don't even know what your dream life is. How do you expect to get to a destination when you don't know where you're going? And you're not going to end up where you want to be if you don't know where it is. So, for that reason, I want you to submit to me your dream life. I want you to be as detailed as possible. Do you have children? What house you're in? What your woman looks like? What's her personality like? Where did you meet her? What kind of person is she? What car do you drive? Who are your friends? Who are your network? What kind of men are you hanging around with? How are you making money? Are you known? Are you not known? What is your ideal job? How much money do you want to make a month? How much money do you have saved? You have to understand exactly what your dream life is.
It can be pretty easy to focus on the battle that's right in front of your face. And when you're doing that, sometimes you can lose track of the long-term goal. But I want to have that long-term goal so embedded in my mind that I never lose sight of it. Ever. And those little tasks and projects and short-term goals that you tackle, they need to lead toward that strategic victory. Winning the long war. And we get very caught up in instant gratification. We want results now. We want the shortcut to the winner's podium. And sometimes, when we don't get that short-term glory that we want, we lose track of those long-term goals. And you look up in 6 weeks or in 6 months or in 6 years, and you've made no progress. None. You never moved. You might even be further from your goal than you were. Why? Why did you let that happen? It's because you lost sight of that long-term goal. And at some point, after you lose sight of that goal and years have gone by, you think to yourself, maybe I can't. Maybe I can't do it. And so you give up. You let it fade. And you settle. You settle for mediocrity. You settle for average. You settle for, oh well. But no, don't do that. Embed that long-term goal in your mind. Burn it into your soul. Think about it and write about it and talk about it and hang it up on your wall. But most important, do something about it. Do something about it every day. Do something that moves you toward that goal, that keeps the goal alive and in sight and in focus.
If your goal is fat loss, which is this is what we're doing, okay, make sure that you are averaging 1 pound of fat loss a week and you put your goal date somewhere around that mark, okay? So if you're trying to lose 20 pounds of fat, then you want to make sure that your goal date is at least 20 weeks away, which is about 5 months away, somewhere in that area. If you want to extend it to 6 months, 7 months, that's fine too, okay? You don't have to set it at 1 pound of fat a week, okay? But the fastest you want to lose is 1 pound of fat a week, okay? And then calculate it. Okay, how many weeks is that? Okay, how many months is that? And that's about the fastest that you want to do it, okay? But create a deadline, and create a deadline that you cannot change. Create a deadline that you cannot move, okay? And tell people, this is my deadline. Create an event out of it, okay? If it's your birthday, create an event out of it. If it's the normal time that you do a family vacation, create an event out of it, okay? But don't keep it silent. Don't not say anything to anyone, because it's going to be so much easier to push it back. You need some form of accountability. So create a deadline of when you're trying to do all of this stuff. Okay, perfect. That's how we're going to create our long-term physical goals, and you're going to create a deadline of when you're trying to do it.
When you do the hard things, you will have a happy and easy life. But if you constantly choose to take the path of easy and negotiate and compromise, you will have a hard life that ends with regret. Why are most people living a life of average, of mediocrity, of just pathetic, boring lives? I'm going to tell you, it's because they compromise. They continuously compromise on their goals and dreams. The reason most people live a life that's average, that's pathetic, that's mediocre and boring is because you begin to compromise the things that you value, or at least you say you value.